Hello, my lovely friends, it's Margaret, and this is a reading vlog. Have I been doing a terrible job of vlogging in February? Yes. Do I think one weekend is going to fix that? No. But we are here, and I'm running my own readathon again, so I am going to go ahead and be like, okay, I'm gonna vlog for this weekend. We are going to really commit to vlogging, and we're not gonna forget that we are vlogging. Readathon started yesterday at 8 p.m. We did some sprints on my channel. We actually sprinted a little bit more seriously than we have in the past. I was very impressed with ourselves. I started last night. I started the 5, The Untold Lives of the Women Killed by Jack the Ripper by Hallie Rubenhold. This is the nonfiction pick for a book club that I am running with Sarah over at Novel Serendipity. That is the Curious Minds book club. We have a fiction pick and a nonfiction pick. I just finished stalking Jack the Ripper yesterday, specifically because I wanted to start this. The basic premise of this is that Hallie Rubenhold, who is in fact actually a historian, she's sitting down and breaking down like primary source material, what we know of Victorian society at the time, and kind of debunking some of the myths that revolve around the women that Jack the Ripper killed. Like, for example, they only have actual, like, trustable proof that 2 of the women were actively prostitutes. The other 3, they are entered, I think, in police records as prostitutes, but one of the things that she points out is that basically any woman who was taken off the street by the police for making trouble, the police would say was a prostitute, so we can't really trust that. She also talks about the media and how they kind of twisted the narrative, and like they were like just, there was no journalistic credibility, I guess, because, or accountability, that's the word, accountability, because like they would just make shit up. They would just make stuff up because they needed this, they needed this stuff. So anyways, this is book number 1 that I am working on. This is my physical read that I'm going to try and work on. I am not going to try and finish this all in one day. I am going to try and finish The Beautiful Struggle by Ta-Nehisi. This is a memoir about his life and his relationship with his dad. And his dad was a Vietnam vet and a Black Panther, an old school disciplinarian, and an Aquarian believer in free love, a radical publisher, and a reclaimer of lost histories. I'm reading this, and I actually did manage to find it on Hoopla, so I think this is going to be my audiobook because it is a rather short book, and that's part of why I chose it. I also chose it because it's Black History Month, so, you know, we should be prioritizing Black authors. Oh, that is a chapter title. It's only 200 and something pages. So I figure I will use this. I'll see if I can do this as the audiobook, or my audiobook for this weekend. And then I do have like other stuff that I'm going to be reading fiction-wise that I'll probably pick up once I finish this audiobook. But I figured let's see if that works. If it doesn't work for me, if I find that I'm wanting to really sit down and highlight stuff more often, I will go back to reading this physically. But you know, I might listen to it and also read it with my eyes so I can highlight stuff. Saturday morning, it is noon. I have things that I need to do today. So I'm going to put my audiobook on and I'm going to get some stuff done. I've read some things. Okay, so I am, oh wow, that's like more than halfway. I am 131 pages into The Beautiful Struggle by Ta-Nehisi Coates. This is so good. I knew I liked Ta-Nehisi Coates' writing because I've read his Black Panther stuff. And so like that was the first place that I heard of him. And then I knew he'd also written like some memoirs. I believe he's written a couple of fiction books. And I guess I'm gonna have to go ahead and pick everything up that he's written because I mean he's just really good with words. Like this is really interesting because it's a memoir and he tells things in such a conversational manner. And I think maybe the audiobook is like, I mean the audiobook is really, really good, and the what's the word? The narrator is doing a really good job of picking up on the fact that like this is almost written as though he's talking to a friend. And so it's like you're just sitting there with someone and they're telling you about their life. I think he's doing a really good job of making this like kind of taking you through what his experiences were growing up and what made him who he is, and what is like we're kind of seeing the pieces of how his father's time with the Black Panthers, how his father's beliefs have influenced him to make him the writer that he is. So like this is kind of like his superhero origin story, I guess. Where was it? There was a, hold on, where is it? There was a line that hit really hard. Let's see. So he's talking about his brother, and like this was one of those things that like I think a lot of us need a reminder of this. Because he's talking about his brother and how his brother like would hear what his dad was talking about, but didn't really like, well, I'll read it. Bill heard the admonishments of my father, but dad couldn't walk the path for him. And my note here is like we cannot learn for other people, and I think sometimes it gets frustrating because when you know stuff, you feel like you have to convince people that it's true. It just is really frustrating, and sometimes I get caught up in that, and I don't remember that I have to take a step back, and I am only responsible for my actions, and I can't get upset over people who don't want to learn. So that was that was a little bit that spoke to me, and he just like it's just good. It's good. And then I am 29 pages into the 5. This is obviously going a lot slower. It is much more, not academic, but it's much more dense, the writing style. This is taking me a little bit longer to read, which I expected. That's why I'm starting it now. I just realized that I have another group book that I need to have read by the end of the month. Anyways, none of these were on my TBR. Oh well. Well, that's what happens when you choose teen romance. We'll see. I'm gonna try and finish at least the ones that I started and finish the group book. But that will be later. Hello, it is, I don't know, 11:26, and I'm here with my final update of the night. I'm still gonna do some more reading, but I have gotten most of the way through The Beautiful Struggle by Ta-Nehisi Coates. I'm on page 176. I am nearly done. I think I'll finish this tomorrow, and then it'll just be me and the 5. Once I have finished that, I'm settling in. I'm going to read this for a little bit so that, wow, this is a weird angle. I'm settling in to read this for a little bit so that I can, get some progress in here. Let me see. Is there anything else you need to know? No, not really. I got my vlog that's supposed to go up edited on time yesterday or today. So that's good news. Turns out I had like 3 different montages of me reading, and I was like, no one needs all of that. I think I know what I was trying to do, but I have determined that I don't have the patience for that today. So I chose not to do it. I just chose not to do it. So, I was like, I don't want to have to choose, like, I need to find, like, some sort of, like, song that will be very short and I can edit, like, between day things, but, no. Alright, hello. No, I am not starting a bookish baking show. Number 1, I don't know what you would bake onions in. Bagels, maybe? I don't know. Anyways, ooh, that was more onion than I wanted to peel off. What is happening right now is I have not been on time for anything today, so we are multitasking, running a little bit behind what I was planning. I was planning on being done filming ages ago. So, but we're not. We finished filming about 10 minutes ago. Oh, Lord, these onions are strong. So, it's Sunday. It's an update. It is 5:25 in the afternoon. I have, since we last talked, I finished The Beautiful Struggle by Ta-Nehisi when I was on my walk this morning and doing some chores and stuff. So that is all done. I am going to work some more on the 5. I actually picked up another one of my books that's on my official, what's it called? February TBR. I picked up one of those because I needed an audiobook because I was out of audiobook. You can't see me. It's fine. We have, since the last time I spoke with you, finished a book. And I will be, when I'm on sprints with Cal, I will finish not finish, but I'll read some more of the 5. And then I'm just going to try to keep working on it as this month and next month go on. I probably will put a pause on it until next month, honestly. I really liked The Beautiful Struggle. I think that Ta-Nehisi really knows how to tell a story. Like, he was able to keep me engaged. And, like, I don't know, it was so, like, the way that he was writing it, I was just like, this feels like I am in the room with him, and he is telling me this story. And I really liked that quality of his writing. I really am interested to see if that is something that carries through to some of his other stuff that he does. I thought it was a really, like, he basically covers the majority of his life up until he is 18 and he goes off to Howard University, and it's just about, like, kind of his struggle, number one, as a black boy growing up in the United States, in the United States school system, and then also his parents as they are trying to do the best by not just him but his brothers, because his father does have several children. They're trying to do the best by all of them to make sure that the boys make it to adulthood alive, and not incarcerated. So it was really interesting the way that he approached that, because I like the fact that like, this is one I think you could give to certain conservative friends. Maybe not the most conservative, but I think that this would be a good one, because I think that, like, there's not a lot of necessarily finger pointing that he gives. It's just his experience and then the history that he knows. There is some mention of the Black Panthers, so obviously there are some people who are just going to be, like, pissed about that because they have been lied to, and don't actually know what was going on. But he doesn't, because his dad was involved with the Black Panthers, he doesn't, like, paint a completely rosy picture of them. He acknowledges the good stuff that they did, and he also acknowledges some of the problems, which is part of why his dad didn't stay in the Black Panthers. His dad basically learned what he needed to from them and then was like, all right, I'm out. I really like that perspective, because I think it's a perspective that a lot of people will tell you is not common. And when I say a lot of people, I mean most white people. They'll tell you that, you know, it's not a, oh, woe is me, it's all the system. He was very conscious of where his failings were, and he was also conscious of where the system failed him. And I really liked that. I'm also really I am real close now. I'm also really enjoying the 5. It's a lot of information to be taking in and a lot of stuff to follow along with. This is not one that I think I would have done well reading as an audiobook. I apologize if this is loud. There we go. Obviously, I made it, before I went to bed last night, I made it to 50 pages in. So they're page 50. So I haven't really, like, we've just started with, well, no, we're probably about halfway through, or 3/4 of the way through Polly Nichols' story. And she's the first of Jack the Ripper's victims, and she's one of the ones that people classified as a prostitute, but there is not evidence that she was, like, not actual hard evidence that she ever, like, all of it is hearsay, or again, biased records from the police. It's really interesting if you listen to the podcast, because she actually, in the podcast, she goes through and she talks about the people who think she shouldn't be doing what she's doing. Now, not a single one of them is a historian. They are just armchair forensic people who like to research. They're obsessed with Jack the Ripper most of the time. Most of the time, they don't really care about the women. I mean, like, they think it's a tragedy, but obviously when you have a narrative that's like, oh, well, he killed prostitutes, that's not a victim that people really get mad about. That's not a victim that people, like, they're more fascinated with him and how gruesome the murders are and all of that than they are with learning who these women are. And the thing is we have so much I mean, like, not a ton of information because it was several hundred years ago, not like 150. And it was the end of the 19th century. I believe it was we're in the 1880s when this is happening. I'm not paying attention to dates. I'm not writing a book on it. I don't need to pay attention to dates. I'm not being tested on it. I'm, again, not paying attention to dates. I'm not a historian, so I'm more interested in the story than when things actually happened. Because that's who I am as a person. What is going on is she's pointing out, like, all of the places where we have information on the women, but we don't have any, like, we have no concrete information on him. And what the women have to say about Victorian society is not interesting, but I guess eye-opening. So, anyways, that's my update for now. I'm gonna finish cooking my food, and I will see y'all later. Hello, my lovely friends. Nope, this is not the beginning of a vlog. This is the end of the vlog. Okay, so, hi. We are here to wrap up this weekend reading vlog. It's Monday the 21st. I'm sorry I didn't talk to you a lot on Sunday. I was busy getting stuff done. Forgot to take a thumbnail for my video, so we'll see how that works out. But we're here with these, and I'm gonna wrap up. So what you would have seen me oh, I should do math. I am going to say that I completed all the prompts because A, it is my readathon, and B, because technically I did. So I ended up putting my TBR on both YouTube and Twitter. I also read without social media for 1 hour. I read in 3 different locations. I'm going to say I shared an interesting fact / something that I learned because I was talking about the 5 on Cal's channel when we did our sprints, because we had conversations about some of the things that I learned, not just like listening to the podcast, but also reading this. One of those interesting things that I learned is that Trafalgar Square used to be part homeless encampment. And then I also read for at least 9 hours. I think I read for like 9 hours. What's 441 plus 451? So I only read for almost 10 hours over the course of the weekend. And then I did start and finish one book. That would have been The Beautiful Struggle by Ta-Nehisi. This was a really good. I highly recommend it. Like, anyone pick this up and read it. He's just got such a fresh conversational writing style, and I really enjoy that because it felt like I've said multiple times, it felt like he was talking to you. It felt like you were just chatting over a tea or a beer or a cup of coffee. It didn't feel like an academic text that you were being handed. This is truly someone talking about his childhood growing up as a black boy. And then my other book that I read was The Untold Lives of the Women Killed by Jack the Ripper by Hallie Rubenhold. This is the group book for the Curious Minds Book Club. Link up here if you're interested in what that is. But I read all the way through to the point where they're talking about Polly Nichols. I'm not going to pick this up until March for the rest of it because I've got so many more books that I need to finish before the end of the month. So I figured that was a good place to stop. So I stopped there last night and I started reading one of the books that I needed to for my TBR, which was East. I really like this so far. Cal mentioned that this is a very accessible text. Like it's historical. It's nonfiction, but it's not like super academic. She's not trying to talk down to you. She's not trying to she's not expecting you to come into this with any previous education. Like, she's just laying everything out really, really well. The only real criticism that I have is that there are places where I feel like, and from listening to the podcast, I don't think these are her actual, opinions. I think she's echoing the views of the day about women. But I really, there have been a few places where I'm like, I really wish you'd, like phrased that different, or you'd put like quotation marks around it or something, so that we know that like that's not you saying it, you are echoing what the thought process would have been back in 1880 London. If you don't want to read a nonfiction about these women, go check out her podcast. I will have it linked in my description box is the word. But what I really like is, like, this is the section. Hold on, that's the beginning. She spends, another thing Cal said, which was really good, was that Rubenhold spends like that much kind of setting up what it's like in London when the Jack the Ripper murders start taking place. This is all about Polly. This is the amount that talks about Polly's murder. Everything else is about her life and how she got to the point where Jack found her. And I really like the fact that very little is given to the part that people think is the most interesting part about her, and most of it is focused on who she was as a person. So I really enjoyed that. I'm really glad that y'all joined me for the very first Weekend WordN3rdathon. As I have mentioned multiple times at this point, there will be another one during the Labor Day? No, it's Memorial Day. Memorial Day weekend in May. So, because I have a three-day weekend, so good for me. If you are feeling chatty, let me know down in the comments what your feelings on nonfiction are. Is it something that you read a lot of? Is it something you wish you read more of? Is it something that you're just like, you know what, I don't need to touch this at all. I just would like to know what your thoughts are when it comes to nonfiction books. If you are not feeling chatty, but you still want to let me know that you watched to the end of the video, go ahead and leave me the little emoji with the nerdy glasses. All right, go ahead and do that. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, if you enjoyed this video, I'll have a few videos over here. I'll have whatever is most recent on my channel, and then I'll have a couple more reading vlogs for you to check out. That is it for now, my friends. Happy reading, and I will see you later when we will talk about more wordy, nerdy things. Bye!